Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to create your very own in-demand virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 50, Crazy Stalker or Follow-Up Master.
I love that name. That's so cool. Crazy Stalker or Follow-Up Master. Yeah, because I think there can be a fine line when it comes to following up with your clients. There's right ways and wrong ways of going about it. Some virtual assistants don't do it at all, and it's such a shame because it's a huge missed opportunity. Because, I mean, Joe, we've got some stats, haven't we? 80% of sales take from between 5 and 12 follow-up calls or emails after that initial sales call. 80%. So between 5 and 12 follow-ups is what's generally required in order for that client to sign on the dotted line, which is huge.
It's crazy, isn't it? And then only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 10%. So 90% of people are not making more than 3 contacts. They're making less. And if 80% of sales are made after the 5th contact, we got huge missed opportunities. So make sure you are in the 10% people. You have to follow up.
Yeah, I mean, I know there is countless virtual assistants that I know that feel so uncomfortable when it comes to following up that they either never follow up at all, they feel that icky about it, or they give up after that one. We hear it all the time, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and I think this really helps if you think about what is the worst thing that could happen, like the absolute worst thing.
Yeah.
The worst is that they say, I'm not interested, or I've changed my mind, or it's not going to work out for me, or it's too expensive, or like whatever. Is that really that bad? Like, really? Are you going to die? Not going to die. That's the worst that can happen. I know that there's this fear of rejection, but like you're in business. It's going to be part of it now. You are going to get rejected, but you've got to not take it personally. They're not rejecting you. They are rejecting the service that's not quite right for them, or the price point that's not quite right for them. It's not about you. It's about the offering that you have that isn't right. It's not a right fit. That's all.
No, and the fact that you need to follow up, that's not about you either. That's, once again, that's the potential client. They have come to you looking to outsource because they are busy business owners. So they're going to need those, not only from a reminder point of view, I need to get back to that person that I met because I really do want to hire them, but I'm just really busy. But it's also just about that stat again. They just need that many touches with you in order to follow through. Okay, so I think it's clear to us all that follow up, follow up, and follow up again.
Yeah.
But how do you follow up persistently without being a nuisance?
Yeah, so obviously texting, emailing, calling, like every day over and over, that is definitely stalker status.
Yeah.
Now, we know that you're not going to do that. So it's about being professional, polite, not being a pest. So, really quick text, if that's what you've agreed that they want to be followed up by text, or an email, and just say, hey, checking in, seeing how you're going. Have you had a chance to have a look at the proposal yet? Would love to chat if you've got any questions. That's a polite, professional, non-invasive, non-pesty follow-up email or call. Calling, I know that everyone loves to hide behind email, but calling is the very best way that you can follow up. They're not going to ask you any weird questions that you don't know the answer to. They are honestly just going to say whether they have had a look at the proposal, where they're at in terms of their thinking. They might have a question about how it works. You know how it works. They might have a question about, when what sort of time frame can we get started on? You know all the questions, the answers to the questions that they're going to throw at you. So don't be afraid about like being caught out on anything. That's not going to happen. Call them is definitely the best way to follow up.
Yeah, if you've sent, 2 to 3 emails and you're going, oh my gosh, sending another email? Really? Is that going to do the trick? Pick up the phone, people. Pick up the phone. And look, if you get their voicemail message, don't be afraid to leave a message. That is an effective way to follow up. There's some stats around that. I can't remember them, but there are some stats around that as well. So don't just hang up if you get a voicemail message.
Yeah, and don't follow up just in one method too. Like if you have tried to call them, you didn't get through, you left a message, then email them and just say, hey, I just was tried to call, but you must be busy. I don't want to feel like being a stalker. You know, can actually say that. I want to feel like being a stalker, but I want to make sure that if you've got any questions, I'm here to answer them. And, I'm checking in to see how you're going. It can be as casual and relaxed as that. If after, so you've done the sixth time that you've followed them up, and you're just not getting anywhere. You've never had a response from any of the follow-ups, and now you're like, actually, like this is feeling now like I've followed up past the 5 times. I'm into like the 6th, 7th, 8th time. Throw the ball back in their court. So in that email, when you're ready to do that, throw it back in their court and say, hey, this is going to be my final check-in. I feel like I'm being a stalker now. I'm going to leave it now in your court. If you are keen to have a chat about this, then please let me know. Otherwise, I'll leave it to you or leave it for me to hear back from you now. So as soon as you send that email and the ball is now back in their court and they know that you are not going to follow them up anymore, most of the time you're going to get a response from that email. And they will let you know and say, oh, sorry, yes, I know that I just haven't got back to you yet. I've just been busy. It hasn't been the right time. But please do keep following me up. Maybe in like 4 weeks' time or a month's time, I'll be in a better headspace. I've got these things going on and, let's talk then. So then, perfect. Okay, great. I'll check in and see how you're going in 4 weeks' time. Then you've got a diary note to then go and give them a call in 4 weeks' time. They're expecting it. They want you to do it. You'll be feeling more confident about doing it, and then you can have a chat. So we make up all of these stories in our head about why someone isn't getting back to us. They don't like us. Our pricing's too expensive. They didn't have an enjoyable discovery call. They don't want a virtual assistant. I'm not a good virtual assistant. We tell ourselves all of these stories when actually most of the time the story is, I just haven't made the time to respond to you and to look at this and to think about it and make the decision. That's all. That's most of the time what's going on for them.
It is. Yeah, I agree. Most of the time, that's exactly what it is. Now, some of the time, it is the client that, for whatever reason, actually isn't quite ready to sign that dotted line. So something might have happened. You may have had a fantastic sales call. They may have gone into that with absolutely thinking that they were going to hire a virtual assistant that week. Somebody's mother may have got sick. The kids might have been doing something. They may have lost a client that week. Things like this do happen. Our advice in those situations is don't write them off because just because it's not the right time for them right now doesn't mean down the track, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, even a year. I've gone back to somebody a year later who's given me a quote for something. I've gone, I'm finally ready. Let's do this. Yes, I know I'm going to need an updated proposal and quote, but I'm ready to do it. So don't write them off. Keep building and nurturing that relationship. If you're connected with them on LinkedIn, comment on their articles and their posts. If you see them regularly out and about or at an in-person networking event, don't ghost them. Go up and have a chat.
Go and say hi to them. Keep front of mind in other ways so that when they are ready or they've dealt with the issues or situations that are going on in their lives, when they are ready, you are going to still be the first person that they think of because you haven't ghosted them. You haven't tried to ignore them or avoid them because it feels awkward. It's only awkward if you make it awkward. So just still be front of mind, still be there on their radar. It doesn't have to be weird.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So our advice, be persistent, be polite, be professional, but don't be a pest. So I think now you know the difference between stalker and follow-up success. So is there a follow-up call that you need to make right now? Is there a client or a new lead that you know that you can walk away and make that call, write that email? Because, hey, what is the worst that can happen?
There's no time like the present. So go do it. Go do it right now. Every one of you listening has someone that they should call right now and follow up. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Thanks to everyone for listening to this episode of the Sam and Joe VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the Savvy School website to check out the amazing members club and find more free resources.
You can find us at savvyschool.co.nz.